So yeah, I don't know how this happens, but it does. And these are broke. I might normally just throw these away, but they're my son's, and he paid considerable, probably almost $100 for these. These are the Sony PlayStation wireless headset, and I'm going to try to fix them. They're like the worst condition that you could have. Broken on each side, but we're going to see if we can patch all that up. It'll be a miracle. We'll give it a shot though. You can see where he put tape here, so he was taping this for a while. I wish he would have give it to me when it was just this one broke, but you know, I guess he was wearing a hat or another headband over the top of this, just hold it on his head. So anyway, it is what it is. So what I've decided to do is, now that I've got it held together temporarily with super glue, I'm going to put it back together, and I'm going to put some epoxy in there. So basically, I'm going to mix up epoxy, put it in this pocket, smush it all back together, and then let the epoxy dry, and then take a look at it after that and see where I have to go. So once I do this, it's not going to come apart again, but that's okay. If you do get any glue where you don't want it, just use a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a paper towel, and you can wipe it before it dries, and it comes off your hands nice too. And here's a case where I have very little material to glue together, and I did just a little tiny bit with the super glue, and I need it to be firmer. So I've made a dam out of wax paper and tape, and I want to fill that crack right in there with epoxy and stay away from the screw holes. There's screw holes there. So basically, I'm casting a part out of glue. There's a screw hole there I really don't want to fill in. Of course, I could always drill it out if I need. Make sure I get a little bit above and below. Not that much. Epoxy is best. Lots of situations, epoxy works great. As opposed to like that 5-minute glue I tried that one time. Remember that stuff? I received quite a bit of hate from that video I made about that 5-minute UV glue that I did a repair on, and I ain't kidding. When I mix that up, I tried to stick 2 paper clips together with that 5-minute stuff, and it wouldn't even do that. People were giving me a lot of crap over that video, but what they didn't realize is maybe I had a bad batch, you know. But I did. I mean, I'm not stupid. I know how to glue. Anyway, let this dry. So yeah, it ain't gonna look super pretty, but should hold okay. Just make sure I put a lot on there. I like 5-minute too, because it hardens up as you're working on it, and that's good because it doesn't drip as much, you know. If you get real thin stuff, it'll drip all over the place. When I used to do boats and modeling, like model boats and cars and planes, I used a lot of epoxy. That's where I learned how to use it, really. It's like one of the main glues that you use for like wing spars and things that have to be held in place. In boats, we used to use it to put the motor mounts in fiberglass boats. It held just fine. Waterproof too. Alright. Looks like I just let this dry. And then I'm going to have to go back one more time and hit the places that I think could be trouble, you know, that might break later. Build up an extra layer on that too. So I'll do this side, then I'll let that dry and I'll flip it over and I'll do the other side. Make sure this doesn't break again for a while. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing right now. That way I can let it dry overnight and come back in the morning and finish it up. Just about out of epoxy. One of these goes quite a long ways. And it's only about $5. This is the kind I bought, Loctite. I think that was $5. And it's the 5-minute general purpose. Good stuff. The first time I was introduced to epoxy was when I was a boy. I was watching my dad put together a workshop in the basement of his house for doing various projects, and the walls were just cement block, you know, and he used epoxy to mount pegboards for tools to the wall. And that's the first time I was introduced to epoxy that I can remember. And I thought that was just amazing because he had a lot of tools. It was very heavy how that glue could hold. Now, you know, they have like shotgun shells that shoot big spikes into the wall, but I guess they had those where you could drill an anchor into the wall then too, but he just used epoxy and that thing was as solid as it gets. So anyway, that's my first encounter with epoxy. I think we're done. I might hit this one more time tomorrow. Just depends on what I think of it after it's dry. I'll put it on my head and play around with it and see if it feels like it's gonna flex. So we'll get a little more use out of these PlayStation headphones. If you're doing repairs like this, epoxy is the way to go to repair broken plastic parts. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you get yours fixed, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.